Good morning. Welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Tuesday, May 26th. Okay, let's get into the action. SPOOs are up 0.68% this morning, positive. You know, it's a little bit of a carryover from yesterday. Global markets really did see some nice percentage gains yesterday, and the U.S. markets are really doing a catch-up this morning. And it's really due to the growing optimism that the U.S. and Iran are nearing a peace accord. Reports indicate that the framework discussions are really centered around the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz within 30 days, but it's postponing the broader issues, such as the nuclear negotiations, and that's going to be pushed off to a later stage. Iran wants to get reparations. That's unlikely to happen. Iran wants sanctions lifted. That's unlikely to happen. So the only real event here is they're going to stop the peace accord is really going to be based upon stopping hostilities in an agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. On the economic calendar today, consumer confidence, that data is due out today. Remember, on Friday we had the University of Michigan data, which really came in at a weak number, and I expect today's consumer confidence report to be weak as well. In corporate news, hey, let's face it, Uber is making an $11.6 billion offer for UK firm Delivery Hero. Lilly is out there on the acquisition front. They're looking to buy three different vaccine firms valued around $4 billion. And that IPO of SpaceX, they came out on Friday expected to be valued at $1.75 trillion. In terms of shareholders meetings, you got Merck. Merck's going to be having a shareholders meeting today. That could be something there, something to keep an eye on. But on the earnings front, you got PONY, that's trading higher. You got VNet trading higher. You got EBIT Systems moving higher. And then after the bell today, you got earnings coming out from SMTC. You got Box, coming out with earnings after the close. And then tomorrow morning, Abercrombie and Fitch, BBWI, KC, King Cloud, Dick's Sporting Goods, and PDD Holdings. They're all expected to release earnings tomorrow morning. Those are ones to watch. Okay, let's take a look over Europe and see what we see with the German exchanges. And we're looking at the DAX. The DAX is down 0.45%. Or 115 points. You've seen some weakness in tech. You're seeing some weakness in financials, but the FTSE's up 0.5%, plus 0.51%. Financial shares are higher in London, as well as mining and pharma stocks too. The CAC in Paris is down 0.77%. The real issue with is with the ECB, because the ECB is talking rate hikes possibly next month, and that's causing some weakness in in European markets. Luxury stocks are definitely lower. We just heard in the CAC down 0.78% this morning. Turning over to Asia last night, and Asia was essentially weaker. After big gains, yesterday on Monday, the Nikkei fell 0.25%. Little profit taking essentially. Hong Kong down 0.03%. So, financial stocks are a little weak. Shanghai in China was down, 0.17%. They're really tightening up their regulatory scrutiny on cross-border stock trading in China. They don't want that liquidity leaving the country. Looking at oil, and oil is, oil's mixed, which is what you'd expect because, WTI was, we're not really trading yesterday. But, you look at it this morning, you got WTI trading $92.69, and you got Brent trading $99. Much lower than where it closed out on Friday. But we are seeing some, continued moves in oil. I mean, you got this latest issue with the U.S. launching some warplanes, and they struck two land mining boats. There were in Iraq and in Iran, and they also struck some missile targets in southern Iran, and that's causing a little bit of concern. But it looks like the peace talks still are moving forward, and that's the good news. But volatility remains in place with oil, and that's kind of what we'd expect. Okay, let's take a look and let's look at some of the stocks that are moving this morning due to earnings. We got to start off with Pony AI, ticker PONY. They missed by a penny, but they did it on higher revenue. That stock's up 17% this morning. We're looking at ESLT, Edward Sam, Larry Tom. eBet Systems, they beat by 54 cents. They did it on higher revenue. That stock's up 10.43% this morning. That's all positive. And after the bell today, you got Zscaler, ticker ZS, Zebra Sam. EPS is $1. Expected move is 13.46%. SMTC EPS is 45 cents. Expected move is 24.91%. That one's going to be volatile. In terms of economic reports this morning, home price index comes out at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. consumer sentiment, 10:30 Dallas Fed manufacturing survey. In terms of, stocks moving the markets this morning on the FANG side, Google, the EU regulators are expected to hand out a big fine to Google over antitrust investigation. Meta Platforms trying to increase the profile of their tech chief, Andrew Bosworth, trying to deflect some of the negative attention on Zuckerberg. Tesla SpaceX IPO registration was made public last week. Okay. What else do we see? Microsoft, that DeepSeek is set to make a 75% price cut in V4 Pro AI model. NVIDIA asks SMTC to tighten up its compliance to avoid potential sales to China. In terms of merger news, Uber moves for DoorDash rival with $11.6 billion offer. Big. Eli Lilly to acquire 3 vaccine developers in deals worth up to $4 billion. In terms of shareholders meetings, it's all about Merck. Merck's having a shareholders meeting today. Starts at 9 a.m. That's fun to watch. Okay, we're going to talk about today's pick of the day. I'm going to go with PDD, Paul David David. Chinese stock. Earnings are out tomorrow morning. EPS is $2.23. Expected move is 6.53%. Friday's call volume 38,741 versus 11,432. Very positive. Open interest 615K to 431K. Again, positive. And major brokers are leaning positive on the stock. Honestly, I think that this is, I'm going to hope to get a little weakness in the stock this morning. I'm hoping to get in around the $94, $94 to $94.50, I'll say, but $94 range is kind of what I'm hoping for. But we'll have to wait and see if it trades that high, if it trades that low. But that's my pick of the day. PDD, is the ticker symbol Paul David David. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the stocks that are moving the market in the last 15 minutes. So see if we see any key headlines. AMC's ODM welcomes over 5 million moviegoers over Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, and Disney's Star Wars was the big winner in the box office receipts over the weekend. Clear Secure, ticker YOU, announces a partnership with Samsung Electronics America. Got earnings coming out this week from Dell, Costco, Autodesk, Salesforce.com, Marvel, Snowflakes, and others. AutoZone opened 57 new stores in the U.S. in Q3. Cure Oncology reports, some positive clinical trial data. KURA. IBM announced a 5-year global agreement with Albertus. Ferrari unveils Ferrari Luce, a 5-seater EV. RACE is the ticker. Futu Holdings announced 160 million share repurchase. I think their earnings for this week. Pentagon spars with SpaceX over Starlink price hike during the Iran war. That's all I'm seeing. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Friday's pick of the day, which was Pony AI, ticker PONY. Stock worked out very well. I mean, just off of the numbers from Friday. You look at the stock; it opened up at 880. Fell to 859 and closed at 892. There's your 1% from the opening to closing price. You look at the stock this morning though, it's trading 1039. It hit a high at 1049. I mean, it's up 16.48% right now. So, Pony AI, Pony, was a winner. All right, guys, that concludes today's podcast. You know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green.